A fan service film with everything but the kitchen sink. You're watching Beyond the Trailers review of Dredd.
Somewhere in this block are two judges.
That's not good.
I want him dead.
We're gonna have to go through him. Rookie, you ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
Fire!
Judgment time.
Let's finish this.
Law is not the law. I'm the law.
Shot in 3D, tons of slow motion photography, Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy, Cersei Lannister, based on a comic book, and a gritty reboot. Yes, Dredd has everything your typical fanboy and fangirl could want, at least in the mind of a Hollywood executive. But when we look at the other side of the coin, it's clear Dredd also has plenty of common fanboy and fangirl gripes. 3D is no substitute for a good story. Zack Snyder has already overdosed us on slow motion, and yet another tough-as-nails hooker turned pimp. Plus, if James Marsden thought he had it bad playing Cyclops and was never able to connect with audiences, what hope does Karl Urban have considering we can only see his mouth? Finally, even though it was written earlier, this feels like a Hollywood ripoff of the highly respected fan-favorite Indonesian film, The Raid: Redemption. So does Dredd really improve on the 1995 flop, which failed to capture the qualities that made Judge Dredd the longest-running comic strip in British Sci-Fi magazine 2000 AD? Let's go find out. Did you see the original Judge Dredd movie?
I did, a long time ago.
Is this an improvement?
Well, the last one was rubbish. It was for kids. This one is for grown-ups, and it's good.
I did not see the Stallone movie.
Okay, well, what made you see this one?
I just thought it looked incredible. I like bad action movies, and this one actually turned out to be a really good action
Oh,
movie. so I
really?
won.
Way better.
Oh, how so?
The action's more intense. He didn't take off his helmet like Stallone did in the original one.
I had fond memories as a kid of the Stallone version, but I watched it a couple months ago, and it does not really hold up.
That's great.
I mean, I will say for Stallone, he's got a better chin than Karl Urban.
That's
it's
true.
Kind of hard to compete with that.
Danny, where have you been?
Shooting a short film.
Oh, that's good. That's an excellent use of your time. All right, so you took a break to come back and see Dredd.
Yes.
How was it?
It was good, surprisingly good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Everyone's going to be shocked that you liked it.
It's a guy film.
Oh, why do you say? Oh, I like action movies. Why do you say that? Why is it a guy's movie?
It's bloody, gory action.
You know, that's a good point. You know, this is actually rated R. Usually movies like this are PG-13.
Yes.
This is a very violent movie, correct?
Yeah, I guess.
Did that work for it? Or would you prefer to be a little bit...
No, it's work for it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because it has to be like this, violent and other stuff. Like,
That's why you need Judge Dredd.
yeah,
Right?
because he's law.
Oh, the R is well deserved.
Yeah?
It is violent.
Did you like the violence, or do you think it was too much? Didn't need it?
I mean, I'm not bothered by violence in movies, so I thought it was fine.
I'll tell you what, compared to the movies of the 90s from where the original movie came from, this one really gives you a sensation of being in a place. You know, it doesn't feel like a studio set. It feels like an actual building, like an actual block. It's dirty, it's grimy, it's poor, it's a
That's
tough
great.
place to be.
Does a great job of playing up all these tropes, and just when you think it's just gonna go like in a certain direction, they decide to they will come out with like, oh, you know, Olivia Thirlby is gonna be the damsel in distress, and you're gonna see that whole thing again, but she actually turns out to be extremely capable.
Oh,
and
that's
yeah.
great. How about Karl Urban? He really wanted to be Judge Dredd.
He was awesome.
Is he Judge
Yeah,
Dredd?
he's Judge Dredd.
At first, when I knew he was a new Judge Dredd, I thought, wow, he didn't look like Judge Dredd, but now he tried to do like this.
Oh, yeah?
But it was pretty nice because it looked familiar to the
I
comics.
used to read the comic book when I was a kid,
Yeah?
so I like it a lot. So they kept the helmet on because the Stallone one, compared to this one, it wasn't too much humor, but it was mostly like action. It's mostly like Japanese action, like animation, like slow-mo.
Can you have too much slow motion?
Yes,
Did this movie have too much slow motion?
almost.
It didn't use a slow motion for emotionally dramatic moments. It was just for violently explicit moments, and that was very delicious.
So how was the 3D? Was it
It was-
actually in 3D?
Yes, it was.
Yeah?
It was all the slow motion when they take
Yeah?
the drug. It was actually good.
Did stuff come out at you?
Yes.
What was the coolest 3D sequence in the film?
Actually, when they did the first drug bust and they busted in and then you saw the bullets flying.
Yeah?
And yeah.
I like the depth. Whenever you use 3D for depth, as opposed to stuff jumping out at you.
Yeah?
Yeah. And there was
Yeah?
a lot of good like city scenes where you can see into the distance.
My expectation for this movie was pretty low because I've heard reviews of it, and I came out satisfied. This movie really, it changed my mind about it.
I recommend it to anybody that's a big action fan, a big comic fan, to go and see this movie.
So what would you say to a skeptic like yourself who's like, oh, it's a bad action movie?
Oh, I'd say absolutely go see it. It's worth the price of admission.
What do you give the movie on a 1 to 10?
I would give it a 9.
I guess 9.5.
I would say about a 7.5.
7 or 8.
10.
I give it 5 stars all the way.
Well, what do you know? It looks like this time Hollywood got it right as fans give this new Dredd an 8.5. I'm Grace Randolph reporting from AMC Empire 25 and hope we'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.